Have you ever wondered why Apple still sticks to 60 Hz displays while almost every other phone moved on years ago? Well, it looks like that's finally about to change. And the iPhone 17 is bringing some serious upgrades that might even make Samsung a little nervous. Let's talk about everything that's been confirmed, from faster screens to a powerful new chip and more memory than ever before. Now, Apple CEO Tim Cook has reportedly been stressed out lately. Supply chain issues were causing delays for the iPhone 17 lineup, and that meant some of the features might not make it into the final version. But the good news? One of the most requested upgrades is happening. All iPhone 17 models will now come with high refresh rate displays. That includes the base model and the new iPhone 17 Air. Now, not all of them will have what Apple calls ProMotion, which is just their name for a screen that goes all the way from 120 Hz down to 1 Hz. But what's confirmed is that every model will have a faster refresh rate than the iPhone 16. So what does that really mean? Most likely the base iPhone 17 could come with a 90 Hz display. That's way smoother than 60 Hz. If Apple goes even further and gives it a 120 Hz panel, even without variable refresh rate, that would be a huge leap forward for the base iPhone. And if you've ever used a phone with a 90 Hz or 120 Hz screen, you know how much better it feels. Once you try it, it's really hard to go back to 60 Hz. Everything feels faster, scrolling, swiping, even just unlocking your phone. But the screen isn't the only big upgrade this year. Apple's new A19 Pro chip is also shaping up to be something special. According to someone with ties to Apple's supply chain, the A19 Pro is getting a single-core score of over 4,000 and a multi-core score above 10,000 on Geekbench 6. To give you some context, last year's A18 Pro had a single-core score of 3,539 and a multi-core score of 8,772. Now compare that to Samsung's top chip, the Snapdragon 8 Elite. That's powering the Galaxy S25 series. It scored 2,187 for single-core and 9,525 for E4 multi-core. So yeah, the A19 Pro is not just better than last year's chip, it's also beating Samsung's best chip in raw performance. That's kind of a big deal. But Apple isn't stopping there. The iPhone 17 lineup is also getting a boost in RAM, 12 gigabytes across the board. Well, almost. There's still a small chance the base model might stick to less RAM due to those same supply issues, but Apple is aiming for 12 gigabytes of memory across all models. That puts it on the same level as the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which also comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM. Put all of this together, faster screens, more memory, and a new chip that's crushing the competition, and it's clear that the iPhone 17 is shaping up to be one of the biggest updates in years. Can a smartphone really capture fire without messing up the colors or blowing out the brightness? That's exactly what Huawei is trying to prove with its upcoming Pura 80 series. A recent video shared by Richard Yu, the chairman of Huawei's Consumer Business Group, gave us a quick look at what the new Pura 80 can do when it comes to video recording. And it's not just another promo clip. It's a direct demonstration of how well this phone handles one of the hardest scenes to capture: flames. You see, recording fire with a phone camera isn't as simple as pressing record. Fire is tricky. It glows, it flickers, and its color changes depending on the temperature. Sometimes it's orange, sometimes blue, and it can throw off a camera's exposure really fast. Plus, the light from flames can distort nearby objects and make videos look blurry or washed out. That's why most phones struggle when you try to record something like a campfire or a birthday candle in a dark room. You either lose the detail, get weird colors, or the whole shot turns out way too bright. But according to Richard Yu, the Huawei Pura 80 changes that. In the clip he shared, the Pura 80 was used to shoot flames directly, and the result looked very clean. The flames layers stayed sharp, the colors were correct, and there wasn't any overexposure. That means the highlights, the brightest parts of the fire, weren't blown out. And that's important because it tells us the camera is doing a better job of balancing light and shadow in real time. Even more interesting, there was no need to adjust camera settings manually. Usually, to shoot something like this, you'd need to change things like exposure, white balance, or even find the perfect angle. But with the Pura 80, it seems like you just hit record, and that's it. The phone handles the rest. Now, while the teaser didn't go into technical camera specs, what it shows is clear. Huawei is putting serious focus on video quality, especially in difficult lighting. The company wants people to know that this phone isn't just about high megapixel numbers. It's about making sure every scene, even the toughest ones, looks great without extra effort. There were also a few hints about the phone's design. While Richard Yu didn't fully show the back of the device, subtitles and hand movements covered most of it. Some Weibo users say the model he used was likely the A19 Pro or maybe even the Pro Plus version. One of the giveaways? The phone was in Huawei's rose red color, which is usually used for higher-end models. As for the build, it seems to have a large screen with slightly curved edges and a solid metal frame in the middle. It definitely looks like a premium phone. Now, Huawei hasn't fully revealed the phone yet, but this teaser makes one thing clear. The company is really pushing video performance this time around. So if you're someone who loves recording, everyday moments, or just wants a phone that won't mess up a video of your next campfire, birthday, or fireworks show, the Huawei Pura 80 might be worth watching out for. What do you think? Would better video quality be enough to get you to try Huawei again? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this quick update, hit the like button and subscribe for more simple and honest tech news. Right here. Thanks for watching. Have you ever picked up a phone and thought, wow, this is super thin? Well, Apple might be going all in on that idea with its next iPhone, but at what cost? Let's talk about the iPhone 17 Air, which is shaping up to be Apple's thinnest iPhone yet. It's pretty, it's sleek, and it's expected to replace the current Plus model in the upcoming iPhone 17 lineup. But here's the thing. One feature that many people were hoping for might not be part of the deal. Now, a few weeks ago, there was a rumor that got everyone excited. It said the base iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Air might finally get a promotion. Display, something Apple has only put in its Pro models so far. For those who've never used one, ProMotion means your screen feels buttery smooth and can adapt its refresh rate, going up to 120 Hz when you're scrolling and all the way down to 1 Hz when you're not touching it, which also helps save battery. But now a newer report says, not so fast. According to the latest leaks, the iPhone 17 Air might still get a 120 Hz display, just not the full ProMotion experience. That means it won't be adaptive and most likely won't support the always-on display feature that the Pro iPhones have. That's a bit of a letdown, especially for people who were hoping the Air would bridge the gap between the base and Pro models. So what do we actually know about the iPhone 17 Air so far? Well, design is where Apple is really pushing the limits. The phone is expected to be extremely thin, possibly just around 5.5 millimeters. That's thinner than any iPhone Apple has made before, and even thinner than most Android phones. It also seems to have a new camera layout, something similar to what we've seen on recent Pixel phones with a horizontal camera bar on the back. Sounds nice, right? But here's the catch. When you make a phone that thin, you usually have to make compromises somewhere. And in this case, it could be the battery size. A thinner phone likely means a smaller milliampere-hour battery. Now, Apple is reportedly trying to fix that by improving battery efficiency. But let's be real. No matter how efficient your software is, a smaller battery is still going to struggle, especially with a 120 Hz display. So while the iPhone 17 Air might look amazing, it raises a few questions. Will it last long on a single charge? Will it feel like a downgrade just for the sake of looking thin? And there's something else to think about. How many people are going to even notice that thinness once they put a case on it? Most of us do that anyway to protect our phones, and once it's inside a case, the whole super thin thing kind of disappears. Some people are already comparing the iPhone 17 Air to the upcoming Galaxy S25 Edge, which is also focused on being thin and stylish. But early signs suggest that Samsung's new Edge model isn't selling as well as they hoped. So could the same thing happen to Apple? Only time will tell.